Lately, I've been practicing doing grander, more omnipotent things in my dreams, with my greatest achievement having been summoning a storm upon a guy that was pissing me off. Anyway, last night I reached a new threshold. I was sitting at a picnic table in a park with some friends. The park sat on top of a bluff and seemed to be slightly based on a park I go to sometimes in real life. From my seat at the table, you could see the city skyline in the background. I remember it being early evening, and there was a beautiful nebula just above the city, like a halo over the metro. Next thing I know, we were standing up around the table listening to dubstep. Why dubstep? I don't know. I haven't listened to it since middle school, but for some reason my subconscious wanted to wig out. Some way or another, I was clued into the fact that I was dreaming. So I decided to impress my friend with some magic. I started telekinetically pulling leaves off of a bush in rhythm with the song. He was all, "Whoa dude, how are you doing that?" And I was like, pretty cool, right? Then the drop to the song came, and I timed it by raising my hands to the sky and saying, "Birds." It was a little delayed, but a second after, hundreds of crows started flying over us in all kinds of directions. This really impressed him. I sensed another drop coming on in the song, so I decided to do something really grand. I stepped a few feet back into the street. I could see the moon staring back at me. It was massive. It took up a quarter of the sky, and it was a dark shade of blue. I took a deep breath, braced myself, and exhaled. Then I started to pull the moon towards us as if there was a lasso around it. As I pulled it closer, the sky started getting darker, and I could begin to make out the details of the moon better. I started to feel the heat on my face as it entered our atmosphere. Then I saw part of it make contact with the ground in the horizon. And in seconds, flames began engulfing everything. Trees, buildings, and the ground in front of us was shattering. In half a second, everything was destroyed. Next thing I remember, I was floating in complete darkness. But I could see a small, bright yellow light in the distance. It looked like the sun, but there were no other stars around me. I put my hand up, waving my fingers through the light. Was this all there was left? Had I destroyed the planet? Was I dead? But then I woke up. I was a little disappointed that the dream had ended early, but I was still excited from it. I sat up only to realize that it wasn't my bed. I smiled after concluding that I was still dreaming. A little boy walked into the room. He was only about 8 years old. He said, "Dad, this letter came in the mail for you." So I'm a father in this reality. Interesting. I had never had a dream like this before. The end. This has been a production by the Let's Dream podcast. If you have an interesting dream that you want drawn or sketched out, let us know. We always love hearing them. You can do so by dropping a line at our Let's Dream podcast on Reddit or just writing an email.